Hello, welcome back to Creeping It Colorful. Welcome to Terrifying Tuesday, and I'm so glad you stopped by to color my very last page for June with me. Okay, I'm in the dark art, and this is my very last coloring page that I need to do for the month. So we're going to finish this sucker up. Alright, let me bring you down. Hopefully, I won't get you too far out of frame. You know, I almost wish there was a way that I could be coloring and I could hear you guys say, I can't see it, so I can move it. But we haven't got that far in technology yet, have we? Well, we might have, but just not on my end. Okay. I've got these little guys to do in the corner, which are skeleton heads. This big guy's clown face. Another skeleton head and the backgrounds, basically. And then I'll be done. So, let's work on this big skull here. I got a few pencils out here to use. So, I shall get started on that one. We made it to Tuesday. One day closer to the holiday. Not sure how many of you are going to have off for the holiday weekend, but stay safe during it, at least, if you do, especially traveling. Take care of your furry friends, your furry family, because you know there's going to be fireworks somewhere, sometime. And I'm pretty sure there aren't too many that are tolerant of that. So, I'm going to think of those too. Well, not like you don't always think of them, right? They're part of the family. You know how they make noise canceling headphones for kids, like if you take them to races or something like that, so that the noise doesn't bother them. That would be so cool to find something like that animals would actually wear, and you wouldn't have to worry about it. That would help out tremendously, don't you think? I'm just going to color these in. And I am using Prismacolor pencils today, PC 1080. It is beige sienna. Don't mind my fingernails. I still haven't done them. I'm going to do them today. I am determined to do them today. But right now they're a mess because I have been painting saws. So I have paint all over my nails, under my nails, anywhere that paint could get, except for on the saw. So now I have messy nails, and I'm so sorry that you have to see that. But I'm trying to get this video out so I can get my saws done and then get my fingernails done. So, which I do myself. So, what else? So, oh, you know what? I'll do these little guys too. We're starting to get the heat wave here in Pennsylvania. Last night I did a video on my other channel, and we did it at nighttime, and it was still muggy. At 9 o'clock at night, you walked out, there was no breeze, no nothing. So it was not a fun time. I cannot put these pencils anywhere where they're not going to be in my way. Okay, now the other two. Look at this. Look at this mess. Okay. I got it under control now, I believe. We shall see. Still using that same pencil for just the darker areas on these skull faces. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with, am I going to go in with peach or, actually this is light flesh, but I might go in with 10% French Gray, which is 1068. And this one, in case I use it, is number 927 Light Flesh. I'll go in with this one first, the 10% French Gray. And I'll just mush it around, go in circles to incorporate what I just put in there. It should blend it out a little bit, which it's doing rather well. Awesome. Okay, you'll see it when I get to the big one. And I'm just going to hold these buggers for a little bit. See, if I do it in circles, it'll actually blend in that darkness a little bit. That's just my method. You might have a better method. Hope you're not cringing at mine. Okay. One more little guy. Okay. What I might do is go back in there and highlight some of that black so it comes out more, so it doesn't look so fuzzy. Now we're going to work on this guy. And I'm just going to do the circular motion just like I did for the little guys. And this should help blend that in. See, it doesn't look so bad. Nope. Nope. Let's see. Let me get this one back out here. I'm going to do the nose holes or whatever. No, those are cheek areas. At first, this book was intimidating to me because it seemed like it had so many little details. But this is actually a fun book to do when, like, if I'm going somewhere and I know I'm going to sit for a while, like when you go to your get something done with your vehicle and you don't know how long it's going to take for them to get done, and then you have something there you can do. I always take something. This is something. It's small. And if you get a picture like this, it'll keep you busy and time will fly, and before you know it, they'll be done with your vehicle. Okay. Okay, so now we got all those guys done. Now we'll do Mr. Clownhead here. And let me see. I'm going to go in with him. I have two different grays there and the French gray. I'm going to use those ones. And I need to put these, okay, I put them somewhere where I know where they're at and I won't get them confused with the other ones. So I'm going to go in with the 20% warm gray, PC 1052, and I'm going to do all the areas that need a little bit of darkness, I guess you could call it. Just like I did with the little guys, I'll just go over top of these lines. Nothing that needs to be pretty. I just basically go over them. It's not really coloring, it's just like following the lines. Just the way I do it. I mean, everybody has their own method. I had to clip this bugger down because it's near the end of the book and it always wanted to fly over that way. So got any good plans for the weekend? I'm not sure what we're doing yet. We have an auction house where we take things to auction off at, and they're actually going to be open on Saturday on the 4th. So we might go there only because there isn't too much else going on in the area. I would have liked to have gone to Washington, D.C. I don't know if any of you guys have seen what they're doing there. It just looks like it would be super interesting and someplace to be. You know, most all of the states have representation there, and it's you go in and you learn different things about each state they have, and some of them haven't participated due to political reasons. I mean, I'm not a very political person, but my view on that is, I think I'm going in with the, sorry about that, 10% French Gray, 1068 lightly. I'm not going too hard on it because I'm going to go over everything with the white. Now back to what I was saying. I'm not a very political person, but to me, not going to celebrate our country's birthday, freedom time, because you don't like Trump or whatever, is just ridiculous. This is a once in a lifetime thing, and if you're invited to be part of that, you should be honored more than anything. But if you want to be disgruntled, that's your choice, but to me that's just being childish. Going in with the 20%. No, wait, you know what? I can't even read that. I think it says 30%. It's very hard to read. I cannot. Whatever 1052 is. That's what I'm going in here for. Again. This is the sides of that. Yeah, so I think it's a little bit petty how some people are, I'm not really boycotting it, but deciding they're not going to perform or whatever. We even have one from our state that is doing that, and I just can't understand it. And I mean, like, it's not about politics. It's about celebrating something that it's never going to come back around again, you know, and you aren't going to be there for the 300th unless you're very young. So why not take advantage of it? Now I'm going to go over it all with the white. I don't know what'll happen. We'll see, because that one I'm going to go down a little harder with. I didn't want this guy to look like a skull, because usually clown heads are white, but it had a lot of lines and stuff, so I thought if I go in there with the gray, it will look a little aged and not so skull-like colors. So that's why I was using most of the grays. And doing my circular motions helps pull in whatever I highlighted there. He's got some crazy eyeballs, doesn't he? Yeah, so it looks like and it's free. You know, you go to Washington, D.C., and it's like a walkway where you go, and it's called the State Fair, they're calling it, and then you go in and you find all these interesting facts about the different states and such, and I just think that would be a really neat thing to take your kids or grandkids to. It's something that they would probably remember, and I bet you when they go back to school, after the holiday break, that they will be talking about that, and these kids can say, well, I was there, I was there, and this is what I found. And you can get free pamphlets, free information from all the different. I'm doing number 905, aquamarine. These are all Prismacolor for the. I'm gonna do this part here. Anyway, yeah, you can get all kinds of information. You might find something out about your state or a state that you want to visit that you didn't even know anything about. But I just think it would be. I know we can't go. Our car is a piece of poop. We're not that far from there, but it's just the idea that our car is a piece of poop, and I don't think that we would make it there and back. There is a chance of renting a car, but we also don't have the funds to just go and rent a car, and so there is that. But I think it's all the way up until the end of next week that you can go and enjoy those state things. Now I know our state was one of the ones that wasn't going, that didn't have a spot to go. Well, our governor or senator or whoever decided that, yeah, we're gonna go. That only makes sense. In here in Pennsylvania, we got the Liberty Bell, we got Philadelphia, we got where they signed the Declaration of Independence. Why would you not want to represent all of that on our nation's birthday? It makes no sense. So luckily, I don't have to feel ashamed of my state, and we are being represented. So there was like 7 states that just weren't going to be represented. Now I don't know if all of them are because of political reasons, but some were. So at some point you need to put differences aside and come together as one nation and just celebrate what you have, and thank those who have fought for us to continue to have that, for the freedoms that we have, and celebrate all that, not get your butt up in the air and decide I'm going to be childish, and I don't want to represent Trump. It's not all about Trump. He just happens to be president. It could have been anybody in office, but because people don't really like him that well, it's just being childish. It's not. And I would have thought the same way of my state if they wouldn't have gone and got represented. I would have thought how childish it was. No matter how much pride I have living here, I still would have been. It would have been shame. I would have been ashamed of my state for not showing up. They also had this great big Ferris wheel. It's called the 250th Ferris wheel, and they showed it on the news today. One of the news people went up in it, and it you could just see everything, all the different things, different buildings, the area where they're holding all the state representation, and it was amazing. I'm scared of heights. There's no freaking way I'd get on there. I even get a little weird feelings when I watch aerial shots on TV. It just, nope, that's okay. But this is a huge Ferris wheel, and that Ferris wheel is going to end up for the rest of the year where they can. They're going to be in different states. Okay, once I'm going to, now I'm not going to do it here, but I'm going to be using my blender, and that'll make it a little bit darker. Now I'm going to use poppy red, number 922, for this little part of the nose here. And there's little nosy parts here, and I'm just going to color those in a little bit on these guys. Alright. Okay, so we got that one done. Don't need that pencil anymore. Don't need that pencil anymore. I don't think I need these anymore, so I'll just put them aside. Now we're down to the green grass, so the grassy knoll. Okay, now I see something else that I might need a color for. Let me see if I can find the color. I am going to go for a brown color. Right here is like the track part, so I'm just going to go in there and get those little bits in there. Okay, so I don't accidentally color them green. Alright. Yeah, and this weather, the past maybe 2-3 years, the weather has been really strange, really unpredictable. You used to be able to gauge when to go do things. August here in Pennsylvania used to be our hottest month, but it seems like we're going to be going into a heat wave this week. And then over, in the other countries are having heat waves really bad. Getting way past the 100 point. And, they're setting records. That's how bad it is. That's when you check on your elderly. You need to check in with, even if they're just friends and neighbors and they're old, and make sure that they're doing their fans and things like that, so they're staying cool, or invite them over to your house just for the day, and if they want to stay cool, and keep them company if that's something that is available to you and to that person. I mean, if you can make it work, if you're not at work or whatever. Even if you have kids at home, teenagers, have them go over and make sure their elderly neighbor is doing okay. Teach them to be compassionate that way. Just check on them. They may have relatives, sure, they may have family, but sometimes most of those people are living by themselves if they are living in their own homes. And, their family's not close by enough to just hop in, and they may be a phone call away, but they're not able to take them in and make sure they're cool and hydrated. Take the time to make sure that they're comfortable and they're safe. If it's just for a day, it can make a difference. Sometimes they may not realize themselves what's going on and how hot it's going to be. And when you get older, you get stingier, and you don't want to turn on the air, and you don't want to turn on 15 fans, and because you can't afford the electric. And so just help. And if you are someone who has a loved one, whether it's an aunt, an uncle, a mom or dad or whatever, and they're elderly, you can always do a welfare check. Say, I know my aunt, uncle, whatever, my family member, we don't live close by, and I see that we're going to have bad temperatures. Could you check on them, please? I know that they don't often want to run their electric up, and I know that's how my mom used to be. She used to say that she didn't want to waste the electric. She didn't. I can't afford it. Yeah, you can't afford not to sometimes, but if they're stubborn enough, and I know they can be stubborn, you need to step in and make sure they're okay. Do it in a nice way. just checking on you, just making sure you're able to be cool and hydrated. You want to come over for a picnic? Do you want to come over and we'll put a puzzle together? You know, do something. I don't have any elderly around here, or I'd do that in a heartbeat. I'd go over there, keep them company, or make sure that they were okay. But actually, all my neighbors are youngins, so I know that they're okay. I'm not sure if that's, you know what I'm gonna do. That's part of that. Oh, I did already. I got a little color in there. I've got to get some brown in here, so I'm gonna color this part brown. And I believe that we're done, except for this whole outside frame part. All this I'm going to use a blending pencil on, and I have this gold glitter pen marker from Grabby, whatever it's called. I'm just going to do the outside. Just like this. I love when you go to put down some glitter, and when you're using a liquid marker like this, it looks like the glitter is sizzling when it goes onto your paper. And we just go all the way around here. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do the big frame as. Maybe I should do, I know, don't get queasy with this, blood splatter, since they had an accident here. Maybe that's what I'll go for. Okay, we're down the home stretch here. Take this off. And we'll do this. And I didn't even have to prime this. It's working pretty darn good. I'll just do it anyway. Just to make sure we can make it to the home stretch here. I went over that, but I'll go over that with a marker. That's no big deal. Alrighty then. I think we done doed it. Awesome sauce. Let's see. I have a Faber-Castell artist pencil. I do not know. It's black, but I don't know what it just says has an S on it. Very tiny. But I'll just go over some of this stuff so that you can see it. Just a little bit. And that spot that I went over, I can go over it with this probably. Maybe it won't let me. It did. It works. So yeah, I just want to go over these little spots here that you can't really see now that since I colored them in. Just lightly give it some, so you can see it a little bit. It'll fade away a little bit, so it's not too prominent. It's not too bad. I didn't do his nose. See, now it stands out more than what these do. All this pushing this book all over the place just to make sure it's in frame for you guys. Little nose. Okay, we got this one. Okay, they don't look so bad. You can really see them now. I mean, these ones I'm leaving as is because I don't want to be able to see those lines behind there. So I think it's pretty well You know, if I find something, I can just go over it a little bit, just to let it come out a little bit more so you can see that it's different. Like I've gotten some here that aren't. I'm not going to go over the rust spots. Anybody going to a amusement park this weekend? It's probably going to get packed though. That and the beaches are probably going to be packed. Last time I went to a beach, I think was when I lived in Florida, 2013. It's been a minute, 13 years. Whew, that's a long time not to go to the beach. When I was young, I used to go to the beach every weekend with my friends. Okay, I think we're done. I think it's a done deal, except for me blending in the background. And that'll be it for me. Thanks so much for stopping by and helping me finish out the last page of June. Now I have no whips from June. Woohoo! Then we're going to go into a nice old July. I put a crap ton on myself. You got to check out my video and see what I unloaded on myself for this coming month. But that starts off tomorrow. Yay! So Wednesday is whatever Wednesday on my other channel. So Thursday will be the first backgrounds on a budget for July. So I think that's going to be episode number 27. 27 videos where I take things that I can find that don't cost a lot that you can use for your backgrounds. Or things that you already have that you can do differently with them to use on your backgrounds. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to get a piece of paper like this, and I'm going to put it over this like this, and then I'm going to take my super tips and I'm going to put them on one of my styrofoam trays, add water, and then I'm just going to so you'll see what happened, what I did, and how it looks. Either I'll show you what I did on Thursday, or I will do it. You'll see it on my July, well, I guess you won't see it on my June end because I've already done my ending ones. I'll make it a point to bring it out and show you what I did on my background video, even though it might not pertain to what we're talking about this week. It doesn't matter. I'll let you see what I did with this one. So thank you so much for stopping by. Like I said before, please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't, and if you have already, thank you so much. And stay happy, stay healthy, stay colorful, stay creative, stay a little creepy. See, it's kind of fun. And stay true to yourself, stay kind, stay safe, and stay tuned for my next video. I shall see you in that one. Bye-bye for now.